Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
The one and only. The other people in the car let me tell the good dog them fi come cause got the dog the yard sweep out so make the dog then come. Let out the dog out of the dog house. Tonight I gonna be a good night. How you doing? Jennifer is in the house.
Are we on right now, or are we just talking, you and I?
We're on live to the world.
Okay. Oh, to the world. Okay.
Permanently. Now I received your letter and I added to the letter to Jamaica. And tonight is a revision of the document again. We're going to document night. The past few nights has been more spiritual enhancement of the country. We had to involve Ma'at, and episode number 7 was a re-education of the mental condition of the people regarding religion. So they got a serious beating on change and balance. Here comes the one and only John Crow. Feels him in the call. Yes. Good day. It's 7:20. Yes, my people. John Crow is here. And yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Dranko, you and Jennifer just chat among yourself while I get ready.
Okay. Good evening,
All right.
Jungle.
Good evening, Jennifer.
How are
How you
you?
doing this evening? I'm good. I'm all right.
I'm good.
Okay.
You know,
Good.
for the last couple of days, I don't know if you've heard of this guy on YouTube named Twin of Twins. What's his name? He and his brother have a podcast, and I'm gonna say they're approximately like in their 30s, so they're relatively young, but they get it.
Mhm.
So it's very hopeful. I think that people who are younger, get it, and they are expressing that rather than just falling in line with the same tomfoolery that's kept us where we are, that maintains us where we
Mm.
are. He's one of those that are like, no, let loose the gate. So I
Good.
appreciate that. But if you get a chance, check him out. I think he's been online for about a year. I'm not sure, but I just came across him how, I guess the algorithm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, a lot of positive things I notice online. A lot of young people doing a lot of positive, but they don't get the spotlight. But they out there
Right.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah.
That is so good. You know. You
Yeah.
just have to keep on keeping on, keep on highlighting them, keep on pushing out the good, know.
Right.
But
And
the
supporting
negative,
it. But
yes, 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 yes.
the
The
negative
negative have
aspect
its
of it.
own.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, one good thing I did see, I see where ladies are backslide. And that's a
Oh
good
my
thing.
God. I don't know if
That's
it's
a
side
good thing.
slide or front slide or what slide. But yo, I
She
remember
dash
the
with it,
day
dash with it in the street.
Sean,
Mm-hmm.
she can't take it. She can't hold it any longer. Churches doesn't
Mm.
pay, especially she went in the wrong time. You understand? With COVID.
Yes,
But
yes,
I
yes,
remember,
yes.
I'm probably a little older than Lady Saw, right? But I used to go to these stage shows in New York, Brooklyn, Bronx, when all of Lady Junie, Charmaine, Sister Carol, Shelley Thunder, all of them were just starting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my cousin and I are, I think it was probably Brooklyn we were. And so we're talking about early 80s, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think it was we just stood there with our mouths open when Lady Saw came on stage because it was like, what? You know what I'm saying? It was so over the top. We were shocked, and most of the girls in the audience were shocked, like, what? You know what I'm saying? You had the opportunity to come out here and show your talent, and all you're talking about is, what I'm saying, stuff that usually at that time here and show your talent, and all you Ron?
Yeah, that double feed. Yeah, that double feed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
But
ahead.
it was just
Go ahead.
interesting. Yeah, and now we see how music in itself, I don't know what they call it, but I refuse to call it dancehall. It's just a bunch of noise and people screaming into a microphone. But and then everybody who puts a poem, so whatever it is, to music is not an artist. Okay, it's just somebody looking for a food, whatever they have to put out there, whatever junk it is, somebody's gone by it and they can eat. There's no refinement to it, so it's not art. So anyway, but getting back to Lady Saw and her tomfoolery, if she thinks that she's going to come back and take up where she left off, it's a sad mistake because it's 10 years later, and it's not cute, and like she was singing some song online and she was just I don't know where she got her accent from. I don't know. She lived in Texas. I don't know. But this time could have been used in COVID, meaning could have been used in taking an ESL class, English as a second language class, along with some music lessons, so she could at least know how to sing on key. But I don't know. Everybody's bigging her up as, oh, it's the greatest thing, I beg to differ. I still think there's songs that I like because of the rhythm, but to just take her poem out of that rhythm, and it's like, what is it? What am I listening to? So, what do you think?
What I got out of it was her just the fact that she threw away, Christianity for me was enough. I don't know if she got a aha moment, if she came into the light, or if it's driven by profit. But just the fact that she used to say, what, this Christianity thing not work, and she dashed it away. To see that was sufficient because it's not working. It's really not working for people, and if people really look into it, then we realize, what, this thing is just a lot of emotionalism. It's an emotional release. You go church, Sunday, you hoop and holler, and you jump up and down. But when you come back home, the problem is still there. Problem no gone. Jesus never take with the problem. Your rent still have to pay, your light still have to pay. See, when them things due, you can't repeat literally tree to the landlord, or go over the light people them and tell them, say, hey, Psalm 31 said you have to give them some money. Yeah, so just that alone for me is sufficient for me. Because our people steeped into superstition, deep.
Yes.
Deep. Yeah, we have to come out of that and say, look, no, we have to use the active intelligence of our mind to solve the problems of our face as a people. And just stick in the sun and say, well, don't worry about it. The Lord will provide.
God will take care of it. Right.
No, I remember when Mao Zedong came to power, and when him come to power, him say all the pimp, all the prostitute, all the drug dealer, all them people say, look, I'm giving you 2 years to clean up on your act. I go no 2 years. After the 2 years, I come back. All the priests, all the imam them, all the bishop, all the men of cloth, say, oh no, I go put you in the dungeon. And when God come, we sign the release. You know what happened to them. You see? So it probably have to take some hard line thing like that to get we in line as a people. You know?
Yeah.
Now go this. Yeah, and he may have to end up kill 40 million Chinese. Mao Zedong have to end up kill 40 million to clean up China. But China is a power today. You know, in the 50s, it used to have signs that say, no dogs and Chinese allowed.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Yep.
But they don't have that sign no more. You see, so it's going to take work, it's going to take pain, you know. But if we're really serious, that's where it has to go.
Right.
You know, the talking and trying to make people do the right thing. No, you know, people not just do the right thing. So you have to have things in place to make them do the right thing.
Right.
See, they say, oh, just talk and they'll do it. Then me run over you, run roughshod over you. So you have to have police and army and them thing there to keep people in line. You know, it's a crazy thing, I tell you. But you get there. You get there, other people. You know, just take time, but time is all we have, really. So, well, you know, you're in a hurry. You sit not change, the condition not change. Like say, yes, what's up? All right, look, give me a people, yeah. You have to get behind them and push our people. Nothing say you can lead them going away. Yes. You have to get behind them and push them forward. Because them so right now, you go there, Jennifer, talk about lead them shooting at your back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's
After
the psychological state. Yes. That mindset that them have now. They might go attack you. We are talking about Jennifer.
Right.
We are talking about freedom. You know, see King's nice, yeah, so. We are talking about Africa. We don't want to hear about that. Things nice, yeah, so. As what she named it, say, Harriet Tubman, she said she could have lived free. I think thousands, see? So, it's really
if
serious.
They were slaves.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and that's the mind, they were mind locked. Them lock your mind in this thing.
You know, sometimes it's like, even if you show somebody, here's the key, they take that key. If they don't throw it off the cliff, they take that key and lock themselves back in. You know, so it's like, this is a deep psychological real.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, long time ago, I was watching a show about slavery, right? A TV show. Sometimes you have to look past what they're showing you, right? So this particular group of people went through the Underground Railroad to upstate New York, where they had a class to deprogram your mind from the chattel slavery, because it's a mind conditioning experience. So in order for you to live as a free human being in society, you have to change your mindset. Like they have this adage, you can't make a hoe your housewife or something like that. It's the same thing. There has to be a deprogramming, because there was a certain level of inhumanity that had to go on to perpetuate the act of being a slave and a being a captive person and being the person who was oppressing that captive person. So there's a mind shift. So when you walk out of that, you have to be able to think differently. And I think that's what happened to us. We, as a whole group of people, we never took that time to deprogram ourselves, to question ourselves. Why do I believe this? Why do I talk to my child this way? Why do I believe these things about myself or about the world around me? And we don't do that. You know, we need to do that on a regular basis, individually. Just, in other words, cleaning up your house. What can you change about yourself to make your experience here better? You know, you make your experience better for yourself, you make it better for the next person, and it goes on and on and on and on. So the same thing about balance, or about the other side of that coin. If you know, all this negativity can result into what we have today. Clearly, if we make a few changes in the opposite direction, it has to be a better situation. We will create that. We're not going to walk in tandem. It's an individual decision, just like it's been an individual decision to decline our society or our culture the way it has been. You know, so. But once again, you know, we're on the same page. You know, and like I said earlier, a few days ago, I'm not fighting against anybody's way of making a correction, making an improvement. It's okay. It's just as long as the objective is to make that improvement. You know, you don't see people fight each other to carry down the culture. You understand what I'm saying? No, I want to carry it down further. No, I want to carry it down further. No one wants to be the spokesperson or the head person for carrying down the culture. Well, so should be the same for trying to pull us back up. You know, there's no one way. There's no one person.
You know, let me say, you know, the way I always say, people we have a crab in the barrel mentality. But, you know, the crab in the barrel, if you add water to the barrel, you know, that crab in the barrel mentality work for them, you know, just by adding water to the barrel, by filling it up with water. You see, it changed the environment. See, so we have that crab in the barrel mentality because we in the wrong environment. You see, the environment where we in somebody create that the environment that where we in. So it create that mentality. You see, the environment create the beat, you know, so you go back again to what we were talking about, crime again and violence. The environment produce that individual, that society, that environment nurture that little boy, a little girl who grew up, come be what him is, and they never grew up in a vacuum, you know. Somebody did be there, you know, people in them life are coming and out, you know, so it's a complex thing, you're right, you know, but we have to solve it, we can't.
You can't just watch it go down the drain. So we're not that kind of people. So let me ask you this. Do you think that we are living in an organic experience? Meaning that everything's created here. You know, everything's created, so everything's for sale. So, you know, the crab in the barrel environment. Crabs are in a barrel, okay, that's how they're sold, okay, that's, you know, whatever. But then you change the environment that they're in, so it changes their behavior. So it's inorganic. It's for crabs to be in a barrel. So what I'm trying to get to here is like, are we organic beings living in an inorganic environment trying to be whatever is manufactured? And this is what we're having, this disconnect between who we are as a people as opposed to who we are made to be in order to exist in this this world, be it virtual world or be it a physical, tangible world. You know what I
The
mean?
artificial. Yeah, it's an artificial world.
Artificial. Yeah,
Yeah, they have
it's
created the
artificial.
artificial world. Yeah, what they have
I,
done, they have
I,
created an artificial world.
and gotten you to buy into it because none
Yes.
of these systems would be maintained. They need to be maintained. It's not, just something that is an organic being. So in order for these systems to maintain, we have to participate in these systems. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so once we wake up, once we realize, hey, this is an illusion, and this is not who I am. This is a product of what they fed me. But so
Exactly.
I realize who I am as a person, as a human being, rather than a manufactured person living in alternate universes or what is it, intelligence, if if that's a thing. So I think that once we understand, like this religion, this God concept in the sky, that your help is outside of yourself, or somebody else is going to come and give it to you, but God blesses you every day. Well, if God blesses you every day, why does somebody in physical form have to give you whatever it is you need to get through the day? Or why are you living from day to day? Why don't you live from, to provide something for your great grandchildren? But no, you're focused on right now because the system, the constructed system that you live in, only allows you to think for today because that benefits the people who are building generational wealth off of you.
Exactly.
So once we really see how we are being continually used in this,
Mm-hmm.
in this reality, then we can start pulling ourselves out of it and focus and gearing our focus on things that matter.
Yeah.
And not to I don't really have an outlet for my thoughts, so that's why I'm giving them all to you, John Crow. I was remember
You
when they
clearly
called.
find people. Go ahead.
It's true. You really find people who are brave enough to say how they think. What they think about. People seem to only want to give you what dummy down the conversation, and it's you're not going to get the time. It's just not a healthy thing to practice. So I remember when the COVID thing came out, right? And I don't know what the heck is really going on.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting down.
Hello. Let's not let. She said the COVID word. Now you done destroyed me now.
Yeah, forgot about that. The censorship.
So we can't let Jennifer Janko next time Jennifer takes the wheel, she will run it off the mountain. You gotta hold her back. Yeah, that COVID, we gotta let's stay a little
So don't keep
focused.
saying it.
I'm already dead.
Saying it.
Let me tell you something about YouTube right now.
I'm gonna chat to dead people, man.
So
You're
basically,
not dead.
no, meaning as far as they don't, all right, let me just say
There's
this.
certain words you can say.
I just want to say this sorry, correction. I want to say this, what's going on with YouTube and what's going on with the internet, and what you guys don't
Okay.
understand, the difficulty that I go through. I want to first welcome Lisa. Pauline's on the line,
Hi, Lisa.
and
Hi, Polly.
and John Crow. Everybody, Pauline, are you there? John Crow, everybody,
Yes,
Pauline.
I
I'm
am.
here.
How you
Hi.
doing? How you
Good night,
doing?
everyone.
This is Jamaica Good Life. We're going to
Hi,
kick it
everybody.
off. I want to thank Jonko and Lisa for just warming up the bench and thing. What you're saying there, Jennifer, what you said there, so as I love what you say. You say something about dumbing down the conversation. And with that, we're going to use that subject matter for tonight. That's a great subject matter, but let me do the intro music. And I want to just express quickly thanks to everybody on the panel and people who rolled in with this little new train that is chugging along. Let's play some music and take the scene nice and easy. This is Jamaica Good Life. Letter to Jamaica number 8. We look about with Talawa. You see? Now check this one. We're going to go into the show nice and easy. Yes, this is Randy Pottinger for Jamaica Good Life online presentation. And we do this for Jamaica, the nation we love. We have Jennifer, we have Pauline, we have Lisa, the one and only legendary Jonker on the line right now. We're going to say we're going with Tony. But we are a group of individuals of high intelligence with the expectation to bring Jamaica to a whole new level. We're taking the time to write a letter to Jamaica. We're at version 8. Now, there's not a lot of Jamaicans who participate. Something about a sideline, a sideline participation. No, I myself are radical in my preservation of African ancestry and African vibration. So enough Jamaica not deal with the African thing, more consciously religious. But we are more free thinkers and have assembled some of the most advanced free thinkers in the world. So the first thing, I want to give love and respect to Jennifer for being such an, I'm mute your mic guys, just for being such an amazing free thinker. It's hard to find these free thinking human beings who have been mentally liberated. It's hard to find free people among our cultures who have read, investigated the entire world. So now we're at show number 8, and for those who don't know, we did 8 episodes. You can look for them. There's a playlist, Letter to Jamaica on Jamaica Good Life. And with that playlist, John, mute your mic for me, please. With that playlist, we can, we have 8 shows so far, and we have a playlist. So if you want to go back in time and see the progression of these shows as we're making a document that we're going to mail to the Jamaican government. We had a few people who participate in this document before, and we're just moving along. The shows are not on YouTube. My channels is not that visible because I've made some comments regarding COVID and vaccine. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tell them straight to them face. I'm going to talk about it later, but I'm not going to rant. But the views have diminished, the notification from YouTube from 40,000 to subscribers. I'm live right now and 5 people show up. That makes no mathematical sense. So, because Randy in a nonsense, we talk about religion, we talk about COVID vaccine and all them foolishness, we talk about black empowerment and black culture, we talk about everything. So basically, even the one Jamaican people were afraid them now come out for being at this higher level. Them now come out. So even when them get the text, I have 42,000 subscribers and 3 people are here. 3. And I sent a text out to 500 people. Right? So the beauty about it is that we're going to have a small group of us, small group of warriors who are free thinkers. Nadine Lee is fully on board. She's going to be going door to door to liberate the people mentally with the Woman Religious Liberation Movement link. Nadine is on fire. My accomplishment in life is to find a small group of people who know the truer information and that are liberated and free thinkers. We are the group of people later on in life that the slaves are going to look to for their liberation. Now, in this letter to Parliament, we're not holding back our true opinions. Jennifer extends her letter, so we're going to try to read Jennifer's letter so that maybe I should let her read her own letter. What you say, Jennifer? You have your letter handy?
I can get it. I'll give you 2 seconds.
Yes, get your letter, please. Lisa, how you doing today?
Yes, I am here. Good night, everyone. Good night, Jan Crow and Jennifer and Pauline and everyone else. You know, big up to Warrior A Queen Nadine Lee and Tony, you know, wherever he is. So good night, guys. Great to be on the panel tonight.
Let me see if Tony did it. Want to know if some of the word them drop off, cause why not this time, you know, people ask, if Tony I eat him dinner earlier, what am I deal with? All right. So no, that is Tony might be a warrior. Yeah. Let me take Nadine calling a lights on fire because Nadine mad like shad. She mad at the world right now. So I could hear what she have to say. So tonight Jennifer is going to read her letter. And when she finds it, she will read her own letter because she did have some great ideas about music. And I'm very happy to have you guys express yourself. I went long-winded a lot of time and expressed my personal system on things. But it'd be nice to hear you guys what you have to say. You know, a lot of people in Jamaicans. Let me tell you something. The word coward and fear is something we have to brand on our people. A lot of our people are cowards and they're afraid. Them only time they stand up. I've never met a group of people that are so cowardly to speak and fearful of whether it be government, FBI, CIA, BIA, GIA. And this is why there's only few human beings that truly always stand up for the people. They're financially, me not go to a run. So let me just wait. Jennifer, you there yet?
Yes, I found the letter.
Sorry, no, I'll
Would
go
you
right.
like me to read it?
Yes, please interrupt me. Please, somebody stop me. Go ahead, Jennifer. Read.
Okay. Here's the other part two to the letter. All right. The current societal ills that plague Jamaica is on the hearts of many. The current political and social degradation has been implemented and maintained by humans. Conversely, the solution will only come by way of humans. The need for A counter approach is necessary to address the 9 areas of human activity as outlined by Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. From those 9 areas of human activity, I would like to highlight two: education and entertainment. I propose the use of music development as a tool to advance culture and society. The term music development encompasses musical instruments and instruction. Within this context, music education and entertainment are used to denote learning how to play a music instrument and the effects of those who are entertained by said music. Sapia, who wrote an article, playing music, and I'm quoting her, playing an instrument, but is better for your brain than just listening. Penn Medicine News states that learning to play an instrument involves the frontal lobe of the brain. The frontal lobe is responsible for executive function, decision making. And as most of us are aware, the habitual smoking of ganja on an undeveloped brain, which is usually before the brain takes 26 years to develop if you have proper nutrition, has irreversible negative consequences that affect the frontal lobe. Consequently, we have music producers, in quotes, who believe that they are giving people what they want, in quotes, by ensuring that a particular type of entertainment appears to be the only entertainment available. We all know that is an illusion. All right, so that was the end of it. And if we desire change in Jamaica, we must change. So that means, basically what I'm saying is that the appetite must change, the constant, and we all understand by this point algorithms. So let's be a little bit mindful of what we punch in on our smartphones, because that will continue to give the negative, low frequency news feeds coming on our phone, and we get to the point where we believe that that's the only thing available. But there are a lot of people, small snippets all over the place that are on, not all over the place, on YouTube, Instagram, all these other platforms that are interested in waking the minds of the individual, because that's where it starts. And so that we can start to turn this ship around that's going down, in the wrong direction. So that was my point. If we have a society, these younger people who are killing their brain development by trauma, by all certain chemicals, in all of its forms, we need to develop something to counter that. So that's basically what my letter is.
I love it. That guys, give her a hand of could everybody clap, please?
Awesome job.
I want to commit. First of all, I want to share my appreciation for your intelligence. Your intelligence is bar none, and it's a great honor to be among intelligent Jamaicans. It's amazing to be among free thinkers, free Jamaican people, free mentally advanced, and people who are well studied. And it's an honor. And it's a second honor to be among you guys who are not cowards, who speak freely. You're not afraid of government and systems, especially you, John Crow. I've found a lot of Jamaican men, I'm going to start calling them out, because I've never met a group of cowards as far as nation building. But I'm not going to talk too much. So basically tonight, Nadine lead up on the line. Oh, Nadine, you guys can't.
Good night, blessings, everyone. Good night, warrior queens and kings. Love and blessings to you.
Good night.
Nadine, Lee. All right, Pauline and Alyssa. So how are you guys feeling tonight?
Good.
I am good. A bit tired, work and school. But I'm hanging in there.
All right, so now Jennifer says something about music. The main solution, key takeaway to some of your message, Jennifer, the marijuana smoking really hinder the ability to play instruments, you're saying, right?
No, what I'm saying is that to be able to play, one of the attributes of playing a musical instrument is that the development, it develops the frontal lobe. But if you have somebody who has that, which enables us to have executive functions, making decisions, implementing what's necessary to follow through on decision making. When you have a society who has damaged their frontal lobe, be it poor nutrition and chemicals, being marijuana, alcohol, then the ability, so you have, what happens in fact is that you have a 25-year-old person who still thinks as a 5-year-old and makes decisions as a 5-year-old would. That is, I don't even know what the word is. It's detrimental, but past detrimental. So when you have the ability, when you offer people a way to, without them knowing, oh, I'm trying to fix your brain, or I'm trying to give you a healthy brain or ensure that your brain remains healthy, you teach them how to play instruments and actually become an artist. Because as we already know, music, quote unquote, is a way for many people without opportunity to improve their current living situations. So since you have a lot of people, I don't like to say ghetto youth, but you have people who are in the ghetto who use music to get out of the ghetto. But what happens in it eventually is that these same quote unquote artists that we have today use that same music to keep people in the ghetto. So it's like, okay, so we understand that we're not operating on a high functioning level.
Okay, Lisa, what do you think about that?
I think she's correct. There's, if you really think about the scientific, part of sound waves and music, because keep in mind, a lot of things that we grew up on, there's a melody to it, just like ABC. And that's just how the brain works. So somewhere along the way, they realize, hey, we can just let them do this by just have them keep repeating this. And we keep repeating all those negative vibes, those negative everything. And it's just a vicious cycle. So I really think that sound and sound waves and the music and all of that has something to do with it. There's something in the music. There's something in the sound waves. I'm not trying to be rude, but you know how they have those silent whistles for dogs and stuff, and they can hear it and we can't? There's something in the sound waves that we can hear or that's repeating in our minds that just, because the way what's going on in Jamaica is just that there is something. I mean, look at, Bob Marley just had a birthday, right? And his music is just so conscious. It's a low level vibing music. I mean, there's nothing bad about Bob Marley's music. It is worldwide. To this very day, there's statues of Bob Marley all over the world. That just shows you how that kind of music was. Not that there's anything wrong with dancehall or whatever, but there's just a certain tweak that they're doing to the music, and I think a whole lot better can be done. So what she's saying about music and sound waves and stuff, listen very carefully. Do your research. She's on to something, and I think she is correct. So I do agree with her and her points as far as that is concerned.
John Crow, what do you have to say?
Yes, I definitely agree with her because we're dealing with psychology. Psychology, it's like jazz music. You see, they call jazz free music because it don't have no a lot of jazz don't really have no words to it. It's just melody and sounds, And I tell you, when I was in college, some of the best studying I did to jazz music because it's just free. It's free music. So it's psychology again. But you notice a lot of these concerts and stuff like that now, other promoters taking them over. So it's not even these conscious promoters now is man just come in and want to make a money. So they don't put up anything on the stage. It ain't no like back in the day, when you have reggae splash, you had culture, and you had, the groups that had a positive message. They got rid of them and said, no, we don't want them, we want trash. Again, them change the music. The record promoter, them say, this is what we want you sing. So we want you sing. Just like them do here, ends and beats and Jamaica is fast becoming like that. When we see the video with Megan Stallion and Shenzi, I'm like, whoa, we say, God, the horse does gallop God through the gate now. God, we take it 10 times higher, so.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Nadine touched upon it, and while you guys are doing that, so it's a document after Nadine comment. It's a document right down. Cause so when I listen to you guys, I'm gonna try to make an assessment to come up with a kind of theory. I'm gonna create a new circular document because this conversation helps us. We're analyzing our own way, and what I'm going to do is to try to visualize that analysis what we are do right now because from what you guys are saying, what I'm thinking, a bigger picture is the impact of the US, and we want to talk about where we see US impact, right, Jennifer? Is US impact, right? Because the US have a major impact on our culture, on JA culture, right? Because
Can
go
I ask
ahead.
you?
No more make Nadine chirping for a second and then Pauline. Go ahead,
Sure.
Nadine. Go ahead.
Yes, the US do have an influence on Jamaican music, yes, but I have a solution. You know me, I always have a solution.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way my child can watch Megan Thee Stallion and the other lady, whoever she is. No way. Because if we have monitoring devices here in America, why would not have none of Jamaica? My children cannot and will not be watching these girls. You hear what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something, we are parents. Them no rule me, them bring me come here. And me tell them what to watch. Listen, man, when to watch and when TV is a because when we was growing up, there's a certain time when no TV can turn on. That's the problem. We become the children and then become the parents. I mean, I don't know when that changed. You understand what I'm saying? Because I want to understand why would a girl be kissing another girl? For what reason? Where's the fun in that? So I'm telling you something, Jan. So the time we just get too soft and too nice. A foolishness. And we're consuming these things and pretending like it's okay. Little boys who brought them up in our dance out. Which part me a Jamaica can't but me a leave a go with them. Remember that give me something to say? Go with dance out. I don't even know what a dancer look like until I graduate from high school. And even when I graduate, she said, make sure you reach home by 12 o'clock. So my first love, my boyfriend, I could make sure to reach the door before 12. Because it's a box that sent me back through the door. I'm telling you something. Sometimes I put up with something. And then when I said the hours gone through the gate, it's more than gone through the gate to take over the place. Lesbianism and then backhumanism there. When I believe in it, I'm not care who want like me when me talk.
Because a man can't produce a baby. And a woman cannot produce a baby. So now, hey, fire for them.
So you just burn down Jamaica good life. What me I gotta do now?
Me have burn it down completely.
That's right. Nadine burn down every Jankro. Nadine burn me down to that means that them are gonna burn me down, Jankro. What is right?
Hey. When that money that will build it back.
Oh Lord God.
Because you want to know which part they're foolish. She said, hey, which one can come talk to me?
So we're talking.
Come tell me, what? Yeah. What can a woman do for me? I am a woman, 102, listen me, man, 2,000% woman by itself. Why do I need another woman? To do what? What am I going to do with that? Listen to me, man, there's some of them are so, hey, I'm not going to give me a coward. You know what? There have to be a monitoring. Parents need to monitor what their kids watch. You were telling me, said you're watching Megan the Stallion and that idiot girl. Hey, no, they call all me. Come here, something to tell them. Change in the dirty ways. No life is dirty.
Righteousness is a must.
Righteousness, I'm not dead. I don't believe in a foolishness. A man and a woman supposed to come together and make baby. I want to them fool, man. But I really want to come again.
Wow. Not that is not in the fire, lady. Boy, Jennifer, say what you have to say, because the fire hot tonight.
Well, to add to what Nadine said, right?
Yeah.
I remember when the proliferation of the reality TV came out, right?
Yeah.
I'm a grown woman. My daughter's growing up, right? Getting ready to, go into middle school and all these other things. So I watched it. However, on the commercial, we would talk about what we just saw, right? So I would explain to her that what mental illness looks like and how it's displayed and why they are showing it to us. So because I know that when I'm not going to be around my child 24/7, and I want her to be able to, when she gets amongst her friends, everybody's thinking that, just want to get this and making a big deal as if it's something to aspire to. But I've already planted the seed in my daughter's head. No, that is what a sick person does. And this is how she displays the sickness. Okay? So when you hear about, I'm going to sleep with this person so I can get this bag or whatsoever, whatever it is, you already understand that this person is operating from a very low frequency and has no self-value, which is why she needs to get a bag that she cannot afford. So she can prove to people, no, I'm really worth the $5,000 pocketbook, but you don't have, that's it. You don't have no rent money. You have nothing put down for the future, nothing. So it's one thing to be, I agree that parents should parent. And it won't be a long time until the child is an adult, cognitively and actually, in terms of age, where we can be, quote unquote, friends. But you cannot, and I said this to my daughter, it looks crazy for a 30-year-old woman to have a 10-year-old friend, right? So my responsibility is to show you how to think critically and how to make decisions and choices based on critical thinking.
Pauline, so what officer? Come
Not fair.
Hi. I'm here listening to you guys, trying to soak up everything. In regards to, I think words are so dynamic. And, with the music platform, people have opportunities to send out, the proper message. And because of capitalism and what sells, which unfortunately are, sex and crime and, that's where people capitalize on. But going back to what someone said in regarding, growing up and being actually parenting, nowadays the restriction on parents is so limited, to the point where, you can't even raise your voice at your kid. And especially in America, and it's crazy because when the kids don't get disciplined and then they go out in the world and they act a fool, and then the government say, "Oh, the parents, what happened to the parents?" Well, you kind of tie their hands. So what do you mean what happened to the parents? In regards to, music, of course, it is powerful. It does require, and it's a part of the brain, like Jennifer was saying, get developed and advanced when you have to learn an instrument. A lot of people, I guess, want the microphone, but no one want to play the instrument. And, in playing instrument, you can make a living, even long after your voice is shot, you still can play, so there is money to be made in that area as well. But yeah, I'm just here listening to you guys.
Lisa?
Pretty good show so far.
Thank you, Lisa.
Well, hey, woman, Queen Warrior. Maybe it don't burn down the place. Burn down the channel I never seen. I'm the real group. But yes, I'm listening. I think that the main point of what, Nadine is trying to say, just really focus on pay attention to what your kids are listening to, which is like Jennifer was talking about, like the sound, the music. We are not focusing on our kids like how we used to back in the day. I think, and that's another thing, they're lacking that attention, I guess, because folks are working so hard trying to attain all these worldly stuff that they don't have time for the basic things. So I think, to that point of what Nadine is saying is just, pay attention, focus on your children, focus for them to grow, and really, we just have to change the way we do things. I think a lot of folks just go along to get along. But we really have to change the way we do things. Like Nadine made a decision, a radical change. I am going to change the way things are done. We're going to change the way things, because something has to change. We just can't keep going the way we're going. So she has made that conscious decision that this is it. I am going to change. I'm going to make that change. I'm going to sacrifice. I am going to go back, and I'm going to start small because I want to make a change. And that's what she's doing, and I'm with her.
Are you guys seeing my diagram? I don't know if you guys could see the screen. You're using your phone. You probably can't see the chat in the room. Are you guys seeing?
See.
Everybody's seeing my screen, Jennifer. Everybody's seeing the screen that I'm developing here.
Yeah.
And now, so far, while you guys are talking, I created this diagram: U.S. impact on JA culture, because the letter to Jamaica. We're doing a show, and in real time, never done before in history, we're building out our, basically, when we analyze, we're building out a kind of result. I'm trying. So far, the U.S. impact on Jamaica's culture, weapons, sexuality, food, music, material, lifestyle. What are some of the other things? U.S. impact on Jamaica. What are some of those things? And everybody can speak at the same time. You could speak randomly. Go ahead.
Clothing. Do we have fashion, I guess?
Okay. Anybody else?
Everyone wants iPhone 13, so
technology. So technology.
Technology. Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Also food, like
we-
because
Oh,
you know in most of the
I'm sorry.
we have food
sorry,
already.
go
We have
ahead.
food already.
Oh,
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Individualism,
I love that. That's a big topic on its own. Go ahead. Keep talking, guys.
materialism.
That's in there.
I think somebody said that. Okay. What seems to be taking legs, what seems to be growing legs is what do you call it? This thing called feminism. Yeah, which is so interesting in America itself, and it's taking legs in Jamaica. You have these women saying, "Oh, it's my body; I can do what I want to do and whatsoever." But and they're spouting the tenements of quote unquote feminism without understanding how it came to be, the
We're gonna
genesis of feminism.
Great. We're gonna bring Tony in for a second. Tony's in the call. Tony, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Are you still with us? I
Yeah.
thought we lost you as a warrior when we touched on religion. You're still with us, right? You're not shaking.
No, I'm not. But I mean,
Did you did you say but
we
you
talk
mean?
about that already.
What happened? Your
We talk
wife?
about that already. I
Your
don't
wife?
want to. Huh?
Your wife gave you a beating? What?
No. I'm not doing anything. Certain things.
Certain things,
You know,
Tony. Work with me because
we
I want
don't.
to.
We listen. I've been down that road already, and
We there. Go ahead, keep talking. Come here,
I've
you
been
have.
down that road, and I don't. People don't take that well, and
Oh, boy.
So people don't take that well. You know how
They
it
don't.
goes.
They don't be it. All right. So
So
now,
I
if
I already said, what, I'm not, I
okay,
keep my peace when it comes to
and personally, you keep your peace. All right.
that. Right.
All right. That's good. That's good
I
because you
won't
know
say my
what?
peace. I
When
won't
when
say my peace.
when Harriet Tubman told some of the slaves, y'all, we going over there. Some of them didn't want to go. All right.
Well,
You see,
people got to make their own decisions, and they got to live by their own decisions.
and
Whatever they do,
here's
they
where
have
we
a decision to
disagree
make.
agree. I'm gonna love that. Slaves never had a chance to make a decision. No, let me finish. Free people like us who are freer and more informed. People, my brother, people always say to me, everybody has the right to decide. Well, give them 5 different books to make a decision. They only have one. Talk to me on that. We're sorry to divert the show, but me and you, Tony, we'll talk about it another time. But you see where I'm coming
Right.
from, Tony?
I understand completely. I have these discussions many times,
Okay, good. So,
and
so that I believe
people
one.
get in their feelings when you start expressing how you feel, the way you
Okay.
view things, and it shouldn't be that way.
All right. So we're going to get back on track. Welcome back to the show. We thought we lost you, but it's good that you're not one of them Jamaican punk outs who, when it gets hard and tough, them run. Thank you for staying with us because this future we're going into with letter to Jamaica. Maybe we'll get to even 59. We're going to write multiple letters as I get older. We might get to 3,000. I think if we keep doing this and building this document, we'll have an encyclopedia and a whole new way of thinking by the time we're done because it's for the next generation. And tonight's show, Jennifer started out with music and the development of that. And of course, the Fire Lady come out and blast sexuality on certain levels. The Fire Lady Nadine to get hotter on the show. And Pauline is on the line. So tonight, we're talking about the U.S. impact on Jamaica culture. So far, we have sexuality, weapons, food, music, material lifestyle, and individualism. What we're trying to do, we're creating schematics on the effect of as far as what is turning Jamaica into this beast? Is it growing from within? What are the external percentage of impact? And what are the internal percentages? Because what we're trying to do is to make a spiritual assessment, a criminal, we're trying to just have a broader conversation and think until we start finding some answers where we can really hone in on get rid of some of these problems in the country to have a better country. And if we don't have these bigger kind of conversation, I don't think we're going to assess the problem correctly so we could find the solution we're looking for. So now if you guys could, Jennifer just said feminism is one of the things that US is impacting Jamaica. Tony, do you know of anything that is impacting Jamaica from the US? What are some of the things you think?
The culture, the music, the consumerism. You know, you got to look at the consumerism. Everybody want the latest and the greatest. That translates to Jamaica also. You know, putting a lot of pressure on these young people
Got it.
to try and keep up, you know, with each other. You know, keep with social media. You know, all of that.
Anybody else? You guys can speak up.
But me hear so that now you can get credit card at Jamaica. The Jamaican consumer can get a credit card. Is that so, Tony?
Yes, they can. Also, you know, Starbucks is one of the latest craze down here. Everywhere you go, they open up new Starbucks. I never would thought, you know, I would see anything like that. You know, so it's, you know, it's all. It seems like it's a trendy thing now. You know, to go to Starbucks and have some coffee and, you know, some cakes or whatever they're selling there.
Okay, so let's call a spade a spade. Because when I go to Portmore, when I'm looking at Jamaica, right? When I go to Jamaica, I see a small America. The cost of food, the lifestyle of the people, our culture is actually being taken over by mainstream. The machine system is there and it's start to spread its wings, pretty much, right?
Yes.
All right.
You know, you see everywhere you go, it's like, you know, you never, you know, it's like you never left the United States. You know, you see all of these entities that's popping up. You know, these, I said, you got to, yeah, Popeye's fried chicken is the late, you know, that's a newest thing. Where you go, you see them popping up left and right. You go to Kingston, I can probably name at least 9 different Popeyes restaurants in Kingston.
So it's just fast food, not just food, fast food.
Well, that's culture, you know, that's a perception that if you're indulging in these, you know, these type of foods, you know, you're you know, it's like you're in America, you know, you're enjoying the stuff that Americans are enjoying.
And
So if you want to be if you want to have a successful, if you want to have a successful business, let's see what's needed here. Maybe you need a Dunkin' Donuts down here. Who knows?
Well, I know big pharma is coming in now, right? Pharmaceutical. I noticed a lot of pharmacies are taking over the country, you know, with drugs. As a matter of fact, prescription medicine. Yeah, let's get to that. That's also I'm noticing that's in there too. It's really the big pharma is taking a hold on Jamaica. Medicine. This is good. Keep talking, guys.
You know, when you say pharmaceutical, I tell you, going to say farming, where, you know, you have the chemical that's sprayed on the food. It's not the natural, you know, like when I think about organic growing up, it was like nature basically did the work. You didn't have to spray anything. But nowadays, you know, the food that people are consuming is filled with all different kind of chemicals to then cause cancer or whatever else will come along with that. You know, I feel like we're losing our identity. Like, you know, when you say I'm a Jamaican, what is that nowadays? You know, it's like that's disappearing. And unless, like you said, we preserve our culture and continue to do so, we will.
Okay, so we're having some feedback. So chemical in farming, feminism. There's a good feminism that I like, and there's a bad feminism. So Jennifer, is something about feminism that I do like. Rights a woman, and there's a bad feminism. So when we say feminism, I don't like that word because there's a good and a bad one.
Well, let's define it. Let's define it within this context and how it's being used in this context.
Can we change the word feminism, though? Can we? Individualism is more better. I don't want to say feminism because.
How about if I do this? How about if I explain how I'm using it within this context?
All right.
So that we don't go with a preconceived notion or emotional.
Because I want to do feminism /
Now the feminism.
Yeah.
The way. Okay. It's a bunch of rich white Southern women whose husbands were legislators, right? Judges and all that, had no trying to get the attention of their husbands. Okay, so they sit around and like, yeah, rights for women, rich woman, while a black woman is serving their tea and crumpets, taking whatever change that they get from this working there to home, so she and her husband can figure out how they're going to get these children to the next level in life. Okay, so now take it to the 60s. Yeah, women's right, burning bra and all this other stuff, right? Gloria Steinem, it's on, you can Google it. She was a CIA agent, and her assignment was to galvanize, quote unquote, women to destabilize Black families. Hello?
I'm still here. Go ahead.
Okay, to destabilize Black families, because if you even check it, from those days, especially in the 80s, the 80s was very visible. So now in the 70s, you have Black men going to college, getting these degrees, going into corporate America. Come about 82, then you start seeing more white women divorcing their white husbands. And in order for white men not to pay alimony, they got rid of quote unquote affirmative action, all these social programs, so that companies are forced, quote unquote, to hire Black people being paid less for the same amount of work their counterparts are doing. So anyway, back to feminism and the movement, right? So what happens is now this Black man cannot afford a family. He becomes drug addicted to crack, and the whole family, and we all know the ramifications of crack in our society, on us, our society. So when we now, present day, I have the right to do this, that, and the other. I think regardless of anyone's sex, if you're qualified and you apply
hold on a second.
And you
sorry.
apply for
Go ahead. He just muted his mic. Sorry, go ahead.
Apply for a position. Everybody in that position, regardless of race or sex, should be paid the same. Yes, okay? But feminism in its inception was and is used as a mechanism, another one to keep Black families separate. Now, what's happening is you see that in our demographic, there are more educated Black women. And so, of course, they're earning more money while they continue to hold our men down. We take it in our brain for some particular reason that our level of success is measured by our counterparts, but we are doing the same job and getting paid pennies less than them for the same job, doing more. So it's like we want a piece of that, part of that, but we're not taking the right pieces and parts to make a whole. So when I use the word feminism, what I am saying is using that as a tool to demasculate our men, to say we can do the same things our men can do. We cannot. They are men, we are women. They cannot birth children. We birth children. So, the roles that are in that the things that are biological that connect us to one another, we need to get back to that. In terms of my feminine energy, there's nothing wrong with that, being a female and feminine. Yeah, I work, but that doesn't mean that I'm better than my male counterpart.
So explain to me
less than.
Quickly in 2 or 3 words, what does Jamaican feminism look like?
It looks like I can go around and sleep with as many people as I want. It's all sex. It's all debasement.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I can go on stage and skin out. I mean, it's silliness.
Okay, so maybe we're looking for a different word to describe Lady Saw.
Well, let's just call it Lady Sawism.
We don't want to figure out our spicism.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But spicy saw.
Now let's be fair here. I want to be fair. The Jamaican men did a very poor job, maybe because of slavery, just ignorance, in destroying the morality of women in culture and dancehall. Fact. They really abused them verbally. Now here comes the woman. Now the beautiful thing is women were Christians, good Christians. Their grandmother used to beat the shit out of them if they even think about having sex at a certain age. Grandma really had it together. At some point, because of dancehall, I'm going to blame dancehall, the women in Jamaica start broke out. So we say broke out woman, basically. The woman, somebody please explain to me at what point, maybe Nadine, fire lady, at what point the woman them start broke out in Jamaica? Is it because of America? Is it because of Beyonce? Beyonce came later. Why did the woman start broke out? Is it dancehall? Talk to me. Is it abused by the uncle? Is it rape? What?
All of that. The woman start. Sorry.
Go ahead, Nadine.
Yes, the women start broke up because they start watching stuff from overseas, and they think that, let me tell you, I'm going to go up on stage, I'm going to do exactly what them do. I'm not saying that a lot of women haven't been molested and things happen to them, but somewhere along the line, they start watching these kind of movements on all of these different ladies here and saying, I'm going to do the same thing and watch when I pull this new one out of my bag or whatever they call it when they go up on stage. What they're going to do next, you understand? Women going on stage, flipping around like they're doing gymnastics. For what reason? You might as well go be a gymnast. Let me tell you something. There are some things that we put up with that should never be put up with. And the reason why I'm saying this is, it's time I can come and sing our music and make money. We can make money. We don't need to be doing no gymnastics on stage or sleeping with this one, that one, and the other one to make the money. Because I'm not gonna love money that much and nobody exploit my body. It's not. First of all, I'm gonna work my own money. Nobody can take away them and give them. So I'm gonna tell them, say, oh, fire for them.
So pornography. I'm going to jump in and say pornography. Somebody said pornography. Yeah, pornography is an influence from America. Pornography.
It is from America. What are you doing with a pornography video watching? What are you doing? What do you need that for? From the first time you make love or you make love to your first love, you know what you do. Why do you need a pornography movie? To do what?
Nadine,
what are we doing with this foolishness?
Nadine, do you watch pornography? I just want to know.
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I heard about it. I do not. I don't drink it.
Jennifer.
No way.
Jennifer.
And every time you need to know it. Hello.
Jennifer, you watch pornography?
We do not need that foolishness.
Jennifer.
We don't need it.
John Crow jumping at.
Well, you see, this whole woman's lib thing, you know, it really is a white woman it comes from, you know.
Mm-hmm.
and the white woman start the river because she was being oppressed by her man. You see, the white man, remember say me, he have a woman in a bandage too, You see, so she was a rebel against him. You see, and then our woman them jump on the bandwagon too. No really understand the dynamics of really we are going, but are the white woman a rebel against her man.
Let me jump into that. Me have to veggie back. Jamaican man beat more woman than white man. Sorry.
Well, no can't beat me. No boy can't beat me. None.
What do you think about that, Janko? Jamaican man beat
a fight. I'm more of a fight because
no. I'm sorry if I say that. Jamaican men are some of them. In the past, it's changing now.
Some here and some here. Hey.
These men were so physically. Remember, say woman. Remember, say Jamaica bad man, And when them ready to put them hands.
Okay. Are we talking about feminism or are we talking about domestic abuse? Which one?
So let's what no. No, light it.
Because there's some women who beat their men too.
No, what I'm saying is,
and like Janko said, it's more like a fight.
No. Janko was saying that the domestic abuse came from America's perspective, but I'm saying no. Jamaican men was beating woman before white man teach them how we beat woman.
Yeah, but I him we learn it from. I him we learn it from.
Tony, what you think about that, Tony? Tony, what you think about
that? But hold on. Let me just finish up. You see, Jennifer says something. You see, in America, the economic order is this. It's the white man on top. Then you have the white woman. Then you have the black woman. And then you have the black man. That's the economic setup in America. So the way them set it up, the black man don't really need the black woman to survive economically in America, because them set it up like that. And then too, no man take care of another man. So it is incumbent on our part to, as black men, to step up to the plate. Because we can't go to the white man and expect him, oh boss, give me a job, give me. No, we have to provide for ourselves too, like other men do. You see what I'm saying? So that, a lot of that too, it fall back on us as black men too, because we are neglect what we supposed to really do. Because no man take care of another man. You see? But that's the economic setup in Jamaica. In America, and them probably try to put it in Jamaica, in Africa too, to drive that wedge. You see, because once your woman become independent, economically independent, she call the shot now. You see? So that are going in America. You see, she call the shot. She got them give her the and if I tell you too, try to check her. How what she do? She call another man to come in and check you. Right. She just call 911 and him come and check your behind. You see? So that's the setup.
Okay. Tony, give me some clarity. And I don't even know what the question was again, but maybe Jennifer answer.
Let's talk about what Bronco was saying. Bronco is right. The system is set up to take away the black man's manhood. And it's the same thing that we see here. Same thing's happening here. We should the black man has to, realize what's going on and, take charge of this situation and just make sure, they do what's necessary so they don't get, kicked by the wayside like, we're seeing been happening in America. Junko is right about that. But going back to this culture where we talk about the vulgarity we seen in dancehall and all this music now, we might not like it, but we are not the ones who are purchasing these records that they're putting out. You got to look at who's purchasing these records that they're putting out and what they want to hear. And that's why you find out, you find that a lot of these music that's not, up to reputation that's coming out because the people who are buying them, that's what they want to hear. That's why they're going to keep putting it out because that's what that's what the people are paying for.
All right.
I
So
have something to say.
go ahead, Anadi.
Yes, I believe that if we support them, they're going to keep doing the same music. But my family and I, we ain't buying none. And I'm telling you this, I stick to what I believe, and nothing can change my belief. And I have some young girls in St. Thomas that I'm about to train up and to teach them the way. And I'm telling you, key to the young men them, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. I'm teaching them how to defend themselves. I'm teaching them how to be their own bosses. I am teaching them how to know that they're beautiful and wonderfully made by God, and that they will not put up with no husband having no 2 wives or no 3 girlfriends. Now the work. Why am I give them 100%? If you're not give you 100%, just call it a day. Because I'm telling you this, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And the abuse, a woman not supposed to be abused by the husband, and a husband not supposed to be abused by the wife. It goes 2 ways. And I am telling you, there is going to be a change, and I will be a part of that change. Because I know for a fact that if I give 100 and you give me 100, there's nothing that we can't do. So me, I train them from a young age. Because I was trained a certain way growing up. My parents trained me. My grandmother and my grandfather trained me a certain way. And I will never, when I say never lose what I learned from them. Because not only did I learn it, I see them live it. I see my mother raise 12 children from my father, Mr. Nathan Ainsley. I see my grandmother raise all her children by her husband with no others done this foolishness in the CR1. So nobody can tell me if they can't want. If a woman can give you 100%, you can do the same too. You understand? So all of these things, I'm training these younger girls coming up. So only better train the young men them open be their own bars and open control themselves. You understand? That's a problem.
All right. On that note, we're going to take
few words for the night.
Thank you, Fire Lady Nadine. On that note, we're going to take a little commercial break.
I came here and I saw the pot. Very excited. Matter of fact, I threatened to steal that picture. This picture is community. This picture is love, and this picture is an expression of a people. So we're going to use this picture as a pointer to unfold the life and the liberty of the people. Because if we eat from the same pot, one love.
This is why everybody should buy one, right?
Exactly.
Every Jamaican
Jamaican is going to connect with this pot.
Yeah, you're listening to Jamaica Good Life with the Fire panel. We have Tony, we have Janko, we have Pauline, and the one and only Nadine Lee, and Jennifer is here, the educator. Now, we are the liberated ones, the ones that are free mentally from certain mental slavery. And we came here together in this spiritual occasion. We never did pray before we start, but we can pray anytime. All this information is coming from our heart because we love Jamaica. We've built industries. We've been a part of a capitalistic system. But this network purpose is to share ideas, so hopefully we could change the direction of our country. Hopefully we can make it better in the condition mentally, spiritually, physically, sexually. The impact of US on Jamaica was major, and it's still major. We talk about sexuality, pornography, weapons, fast food, music, material lifestyle, chemical in farming, individualism, consumerism, drugs, policies, feminism, and broke out on stage. Now that is the red effect. The green effect is coming next. What are the positive effects on America? And hopefully the next episode 9, we probably have what's Jamaican impact to the world. So when we put all this together, we have some solution. And as we build this letter to Jamaica, you can reach out to us and email your ideas and solution for Jamaica at jamaicagoodlife1@gmail. The reason why we're recording these shows for history and chronologic and putting these digital media together on USBs and digital PDFs and books, we're going to pass these shows on to the young generation, the ones that are going to be running for politics. So your input is very important. This is Jamaica Good Life 1, the number 1 at gmail.com. The letter to Jamaica. It's a way for you to put your ideas down, and we're going to print letters, send it to Parliament, and we're going to take all these videos and footage, store it on chips and stuff later on, put money together, and pass it out for the young generation. So we're not just about doing social media content. I'm thankful for each of your participation. We're creating a program, and we're going to leave this program in the hands of the next generation. So it's productive. It's a call to action. It's more than a podcast or a YouTube thing. And I want to gracefully thank Tony, Pauline, Jennifer, Nadine the Firewoman, and Lisa, because the journey on YouTube right now, it's getting tougher. And we are that little light in the darkness because we're doing something very productive. We start off the show talking about the dumbed down information, but we're gonna have a long show tonight, and anybody want to go sleep, but it's gonna be long because it's important. I could hear it, I could feel it. But before I talk about the Jamaicans who love the dumbed down content, let's stay focused on the positive effect of the United States. I'm going to put that in green. All right, come back, team. Come back alive. Everybody there? So now who next is supposed to speak?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the positive effects. I know for handicaps is a positive. America can help to change Jamaica in positive ways. And one positive way for that, I think, is like mental health. One, handicap support, right? Help me out, guys.
Homes for the elderly. Home
Opportunity.
All right, cool. 1 second. My computer's acting up. Babylon is taking over. Hold on 1 second. I love that. You see how we all working together. We're such a great unit. I love it. So mental health. We're talking about homes for elderly. Elderly.
Better health care.
Better health care. Okay, keep going.
Free education.
insurance.
Free education.
Freedom all the way up until high school.
Free health care. Wait, so weapons what? What do you say, Pauline?
No. You said free education. I say all the way up until high school.
Okay.
Primary. Yeah. Because yeah.
Okay. Anything else? We have mental health homes for the elderly, better health care, and free education.
Better tax system, like, where people actually pay their tax.
Okay.
That needs to be implemented.
Okay.
And better identification, other than the TRN, like having something where you could track someone, so when they commit a crime or do something that's unlawful, they can be penalized, and they don't jump from one parish to the next and keep doing the same thing.
Improve technology security system, or improve security, better tracking
system.
Okay. Tracking system. And now we have to body cams for police, or what do you say that? How do you? That's from America. America has.
Yeah, they definitely need that. Yeah.
How would we tracking system for police? Video surveillance, better video surveillance.
The infrastructure is better, less red tape and more, less, soon come.
You mean consumer?
I guess better response time.
More ambulance,
Yeah.
And we have to
healthcare facilities are better.
Good. The healthcare transportation. Well, how would we phrase that?
First responders. Well, they. I don't really know how. I think that falls under taxes. I don't know how it's divvied up, but the ability to have first responders in a town depends on the amount of taxes or revenue that's generated from that town.
Well,
so that's why you would find like places like New York City, for example, less specifically Manhattan, would have a more readily available and equipped first responding system, as aka ambulance, as opposed to some town in Mississippi, so it's revenue. So that falls under taxes.
Okay.
Maybe having, sorry.
Go ahead.
Like, say for instance, someone, is in medical distress, and by the time the ambulance get to them, it's over. So maybe having like particular lanes that's just for emergency vehicles only. So, when emergency, the ambulance will get you without being backed up in traffic, and, can save people's lives. So some form of system like that.
We know that a distribution of clinics throughout our medical facilities, emergency medical facility distribution, that can help. Because the country Jamaica, the roads are so windy, you have to set up hot spots for medical emergency, or mobile medical. You see what I'm saying?
So like having a hospital, what about in
a hospital?
No,
hospital or big. It's hard to get.
Okay.
When a grandmother has,
clinic.
Put it like this, it's even less than a clinic. It's smaller than a clinic. You see,
so like urgent care?
Yeah, you see, if urgent care containers are accessible to nurses, what Jamaica has to do is there's some kind of feedback we're getting. Can someone mute? If you're not talking, mute, please. So what we need, Tony's calling back. So what we need is this. Jamaica needs, and we need an app. We need digital medical links. I'm going to talk about it later, and I'm going to write about it. But the taximen and the nurses, okay, you have to find the nurses in the community on an app. In case of emergency, in your community, every Jamaican is supposed to be able to pull out an app and say, find nurse. and nurses in the community. From that app, the nurse is supposed to be able to be alerted to intercept the grandmother, which she can now coordinate with the ambulance, and then she can also find the container. And the cool thing about these containers in the future, I'm visioning out, with Wi-Fi, she could open the container from the app, or she has a code that the administrator, the 24-hour call container center. She calls them. They open the container remotely because of Wi-Fi with open locks. She goes in there and she could administer some help to the person until the ambulance come. That's what Jamaica looks like in rural areas. It's hard to get to these areas. What you have to do is set up mini supply container areas. Yes, it's coming, it's coming, it's downloading. I see the future. It's coming. When I live in the mountains, and if I ever get money, I plan to turn my grandmother mission house into a lady just died in our community. Dead as a doorknob, them just find our yard. She had no way to get any quick support. To leave the bushes where we come from, take about 40 minutes. To leave, the road are windy. And normally it's taxis that take sick people out. What Jamaica has to do is to distribute containers across Jamaica, create a central database for nurses in different locations. A simple Google Docs can do, and make the community and the ministers and the pastors aware of the nurses and the facilities in place. So in case there's an emergency, the community know where to take this elder to and know how to contact the local nurse, just like they did in the 1800s. They call Dr. Jim, and he's coming on the horseback buggy to deliver the baby. To think that in Jamaica, people are dying because they can't get to the hospital in time. So the government did not work out any scenario to distribute any kind of fail-safe and support for nurses in that local area where people could actually activate and find. That is very important in the improvement of Jamaica. And one thing America can impact us on when it comes to healthcare, and an ambulance will be parked up in Brooklyn at a certain area, just waiting. And they distribute the ambulance across the city. Just in case of emergency, the ambulance come in 5 minutes. Stuff like that is very important for Jamaica. Lisa, touch on that for me. Touch on what I'm saying.
Yes, Cuba also has a thing that's called like a walking nurse, where, they go door to door in the rural areas where, there's not a lot of clinics and the elderly and stuff cannot get out to go that far to travel. They have a thing that's called like a walking nurse, where they go door to door and they do wellness check on the elderly. And this is something, it's not a once in a blue moon thing. It's something that, they set up where on a routine schedule, you have a certain visit for the elderly and for the children, or for people in the household, the handicap and stuff that cannot get around. And I think that's something too that would be very important, especially in those rural areas.
That's very productive. Thank you. Anybody else?
When I thought about more hospitals, case in point, how many hospitals are there in Jamaica? And someone needs to do a big operation, then they have to go all the way to town. You know what I mean? Like, it should be more, maybe not in every parish, but geez, it cannot just be a limited amount to the point where they overfull. You live in St. Anne, you have to go drive all the way to Kings. You know what I mean? So I feel like that has to be a better way, where it could be more hospitals.
Okay.
Just one more point. Keep in mind, this walking nurse is not going to be walking. Excuse me. Of course, she's going to be driving from location to location, because you're going out into these rural areas, and where she cannot drive, she will park, and she and whoever is assisting her, they will walk to the individual's home and and stuff like that. That's what I meant when I said walking nurse, not literally walking on their feet. Okay.
Right.
Because we're thinking horseback carriage nurse. Oh, keep going. Tony, any help?
No, it's driving.
Tony, any input on the positive impact, what we can learn from America to help Jamaica?
Absolutely, the healthcare system that they have there is, we need to get ours up to a level similar to that, because that will help raise the living standards of Jamaica.
Okay, so we have so far better video surveillance for crime prevention. And we have mental health, increase mental health support, improve, right? Jonko, anything? Homes for the elderly, better health care, free education, better tax system, more ambulance, hotspots for care, drive-in nurse in rural areas, training community health professionals, tourism ability to travel abroad, work. All right. So these are some of the positive things we see about U.S. on the Jamaica impact, because we're going to take some of the good things about America, some of the bad, look at the good and the bad, and we're going to try if take some and left some, right, to build a better Jamaica. So all this stuff we're saying, thank you guys. So this is a good start. Keep these solutions coming. It's bigger than we have the documents, right? This is nice. Any other ideas?
Also, the Wi-Fi system. I feel like it could have more distribution in areas, like you say, in the country where it's not available. But yeah, they could definitely work on that.
I think Jamaica need a better reporting system, a better news system, a more resource for news, because the news seems to be lacking. Them just focus on who's dead. Better news reporting. There's something about getting a deeper report, or allocation of funds for the police. Or, I don't know. I think but something is going on with the news system in Jamaica. It's lacking, deeper reports. You don't get it. You just hear a man dead in St. Mary, and after that, that's it. Head.
It's by design. It's not that they don't have anything positive, but the powers that be at that news station are there to promote a certain propaganda. Mm-hmm. And when you can constantly, we see it here in the States, when you're constantly bombarded with bad news, you start to develop this sense of fear and dread, and then hopelessness. Mm-hmm. So people who are hopeless act out in certain ways, which are, antisocial, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So it's by design, so that is once, what do you call it? Once people develop a certain sense of responsibility, but that, again, is on an individual basis, that powers that be at that news station and or the government have got to be more involved in uplifting the mental health of the populace. Mm-hmm. You have to root out corruption in order for that to take a hold. But we see how it works here. Every day they tell you about 10,000 people die, but they don't tell you how many people die on the daily average, period. Mm-hmm. But,
You guys are good. Keep the people heightened in fear. All right. No good, man. No good. Really, really, today was another. Every time we meet up, I don't know where to come from, but no good. Big off the hats to Tony. And I don't know. Why? On a walkless, I thought it would be a walkless crew, but on a walkless after all. Boy.
Never.
So far, this is good. We can share this box green. What an accomplishment. I don't think no YouTube channel has ever accomplished nothing in a one night. So, Lord God, when I run out, boy, I could put it on big screen. I'm almost proud of myself. Now the Prime Minister look on this and say, Lord God, let me put them in my cabinet. Boy, boy.
That's okay. Don't.
You don't want to go into the cabinet?
I don't want
He
to be
can't
funny.
afford
I don't
this.
want to be in no cabinet.
All right,
Lock
so
it up in the closet.
you know pornography. You need to stop it.
Okay.
One of them I would fire. Everyone is fired.
All right, Nadine.
And all the person who's hired in the Jamaica Good Life School, nobody else now hired it.
At least we know we'll not be watching the pornography in Nadine house when we go there.
Bring your own pornography.
Not even by your iPhone, Tony. You will not be permitted. Boy, Tony is shutting it down. Jankra, none for you. All right, so this was good. This was fun. So I'm just gonna attach a line here. You see, I'm addicted to getting stuff done. When I see a diagram like this after doing a show like this, it makes me breathe easy that my time was well spent with you guys. In the beginning of the show, I thought I was going to lose some valuable time in my life that I cannot regain. You know, it was nice, but this is what me love personally, to be among you guys and producing something like this. It's more than talk. And I love what we're doing, and it's worth my life to be among you guys, that we could accomplish it together. And I just want to thank you so much. This is the good from America, because this document here is going to be legendary, and it's only going to get better and better and better. So I think the hope, when you look at America media, compared to, and Jamaicans are pretty smart. Now, after we have these ideas, and we write this letter to Parliament, and we keep expanding on this, the question is now how we reverse it, you know, because one thing for sure, education, digital books. I think if we build a lot more entertainment centers across Jamaica for these youths to perform and gain capital through pay-per-view content virtually, after we see the problem, we have to come up with a plan, you know. And this is what I've always had in my mind. We're going to come up with a plan to deal with the issues we can deal with. Look at drugs. We have to change the laws to deal with drugs. Feminism broke out in a dancehall with women. We don't know if we can stop that. Material lifestyle, can't stop that. Chemical and farming, we can't stop that. The music, we can curtail that. Fast food, we can reduce that. Weapons, we can reduce that. Pornography, nobody can stop people to watch what they want to watch, except for Nadine and her family. Individualism, can't stop that. Consumerism, can't stop that. You see me? So we have to know where we can change. What are the changes from government? Then suggest these changes to government, and then come up with ideas for the things that we know we need to put in place on a long-term psychological basis as far as change. When you look at the young girls in Jamaica, they're on their phones, and America is influencing them in major ways. Let me put the good here. The good. America is influencing them in major ways that we. So back to what Nadine said, it starts with the parenting, right? So if the parents set up the strict rules for the next generation, some of these activities can be curtailed. So a lot of it is from the education. The parents, let's say in the inner city or in the country that are not educated or can't read or whatever, they have to want to make these changes. Now, the religion and the Christians, that was supposed to give them the strength. But as we can see, we're losing these young men, these fatherless young men. We're losing them. And the only way to regain them is by adding the fathers back in the mix. People like me who go back to Jamaica and surround myself with them. People like Tony. The men in abroad and in Jamaica have to become virtual fathers again to regain and redirect them, not just by giving them opportunity, but by giving them education and giving them hope. And we have to sacrifice part of our income to build infrastructure in place they can work. So it's a long road for us as a country. It's a very long road for us, a long journey. But the first steps we're taking here in visually identifying the challenges of Jamaica, I think is very important. Janko says something on that.
Yeah, man. I agree with definitely. We have to, but I think we're on the right track. We're on the right track by doing what we're doing right here, talking, putting down, suggestion. So it's good. It's good.
Jennifer,
Hmm?
say something. Summarize.
Well, one, I think it's very important we use terms that we identify how we're using them within the context so that we're all on the same page in terms of understanding or overstanding, as the case may be. I think that, it's good to, talk about, the positives and the negatives and, how, we think that they can be implemented. And no one has a bad idea. Everything works. Let's just put it in the pot, and see what it comes out. It can't be any worse as far as I'm concerned. And everyone's point is valid. And I think that we should all continue to think about, okay, so this is how I think we should address this, healthcare, whatever it is, and what are some of the ways we can do that so that we can continue to move forward in this process.
Pauline?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a very productive night. One other thing, that's been on my mind, it's the creative ways of how Jamaicans think of getting money out of someone abroad. And what I mean by that, I have someone that I know that have a family member, got a call that so and so died, money to bury the person. So the person go down for a funeral. And once they got here, the person who was supposed to be dead was alive. And they're like, hold up, but I thought you were supposed to be dead.
They pick them up at the airport.
Yeah, so it's like the creativity. Like, I feel like if they put that creativity into figuring out ways to make money legally, and maybe part of it, and I'm not saying, maybe part of it is for the people in foreign kind of contribute to that. What I mean by that is, you come here and you say, okay, your family member back home, they're struggling, and you sacrifice and you send them. But maybe we are the enablers, and there's good part and bad part to it. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like I said, Nigerians, they know for scamming people, but seriously, like I feel like we're outdoing them, and I'm like, it got to get better. Like this is ridiculous. So that's part of something that's been on my mind, wanted to share.
Nice, lovely. So basically, We have to do a whole segment on scamming techniques to educate the people abroad, especially all the different techniques with the goat, the chicken, grandmother sick, funeral. It's a countless construction. We have to look at we have to, and this, I love this stuff because that kind of discussion right there is so important because the ignorance of people abroad sometimes play into the welfare system in Jamaica, where you're foreign, a phone call come in, granny sick for medicine. And then sometimes the last time we heard from family members certain things happen, I said, I need the doctor's number. I need the medical report. I need you draw a diagram and text it to it. So the heart now work and a pencil and paper. I said, me need a real scan. So, and every time I hear from them, a doctor bill, the day when we start have good medical system and nobody not pay nothing, that eliminate one of the scamming. And the government is scamming the people charging so high price for barrels too. And other things that we'll talk about what government can change probably in the next. But I tell you, we have to educate Jamaicans, a letter to Jamaicans abroad. You see, I always say, grow a second heart over to the right of yourself. Use the second heart to deal with Jamaicans. Don't use your first heart. Keep it a foreign. When the phone ring, just get ready to turn on the second heart because they know how to touch your heart. And they're good at that because they think that we have it and family has totally lose honor and respect in Jamaica, where I had to go out there and build a new family with strangers. I trust strangers now more than I trust my family. And it's a hard lesson I had to learn. It's still Jamaica good life. I didn't say Jamaicans good life. I said it's Jamaica good life. So don't get me wrong. Me no mix up another bangarang. Right. So the people themselves are opportunist and tricky to a level where it seems like them have a meeting and they all have an agreement. And thank when them say foreigner, all of them have a meeting when the plane touch down. And as soon as the plane one more come? All right, broke up. All right, you go over there, so you go. So, taxi man, you ready? In place? It's like a coordinated thing. Jelly man, you got the jelly? Yeah, got it. Hey, bagman, hey, take something off of me now. All right, got it. Me reach at the airport now. Security guard, take something from him now. Him upstairs, yeah? Call the weed man, then call the weed man. Me I walk on the beach now. Weed man, you see him? Him dead there. Me I wake up in the morning now. Yo, bagger look for you now. We never know say you're gone. But how do I know something there? Them create a whole network around me. Hey, one day in a town, them call everybody. So then me there, my yard now, my be now. The neighbor call, hey, call the gardener one day, the painter, get everybody ready. You know, say your girl want paint. Me know a man, you know. So them take something from the man, we paint the grill. The pipe block of plumber no give you the receipt. And now, so when you leave, me no know, cause if you tell them when you leave, now the plumber for come Thursday, he might come next week, cause by the time you fly out, now plumbing for fix, and him have go, boy, so the pipe them really bad. You gone already, You go send the money down. It's a coordinated foreign coming. It take like them teach me. It take 9 days for done your money. And their objective, yes, general, yes, boss, is to deplete you of your finance. And and this is why, let me tell you guys something. There's like Terry teach me this. You interview 100 Jamaicans, you'll find two. I think I found the two. And one little shaky, but I find the two. And they're there. The good Jamaicans are there, but all in all, it's not so much America impacting them, They have developed a welfare Western Union mentality. They have developed a tricky. You think Nigerians bad? Jamaica will see your car 1 mile away. So your hood open, them say everything you do. So it is not that they're wicked, they're opportunists, and their job, them they all should be FBI agents and security, because these people are good. I've had about 5 drivers who either stole from me or tried to steal from the people I introduced them to. Major scamming. And everybody right beside you, you could feel the early interaction that they're good, genuine. You feel the way they make themselves good. They paint a picture of them so good that you will give them your life. And when you start, a year or a year and a half, you find out what they are. So I've learned some valid lesson. No one can fix Jamaica, only the Almighty. One, we have to be more protective of every step we make towards these people, because they are very calculated in every step they make towards us as people from abroad. So as you see this system there, as we speak now to try to make a better system for most of these people, they do not care. The only thing most time them care about, where is the money? Where is the money? They have bypassed America consumerism. They have bypassed it. Jamaicans are more capitalist than Americans. So we're dealing with a greed factor here that is one of the cause for crime. That it is not just a systematic influence on, the American system, the white man this, the white man that. An inner greed and an inner corruption like Nigeria, these people have to be accountable for their action. So we're not going to let them off easy about slavery. In Nigeria, there's no slavery to that component. They're smart, calculated people. So we have everything on deck. Let's review some of the things we talked about in the last episode. Change gun laws, crime laws, digitalize all agencies for transparency, improve medical institution care-free access, police body cams, literacy program for people who have aged out of school, improve technology assets, and program AI programming, more access to digital books, free schools, invest in solar energy. Jamaica has to be a republic, increase payments for government workers. Churches do more clinical work, farming, social centers, professional mental advice for churches. No, private sector play bigger role in building Jamaica medical system schools. Increase the amount of people who pay taxes. Now, as far as the young men and the gangs, get them some African history, mandatory military, change the music, addiction problem issues we have to deal with, gun sweep, engage with channel cameras, tablets, computers, musical instruments, farming equipment, job buses linked to private companies, bauxite to make local products to create jobs, bauxite companies fund and assist farmers. So that's one of the other diagram we created. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 11 participants who wrote a letter to Jamaica. And collectively, we've created a diagram with some of the solutions or some of the ideas to discuss. So, John Crow, summarize for me. Let's end this beautiful show, and I'll thank everyone.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So we just have to keep on treading the road, you know. We're making suggestions. We're making. I think we're making progress. I learning a lot myself, you know, learning a lot from the callers and from the contributors. So, you know, just urge, you know, other people to get on board. Don't just be a fence sitter, you know. Get on board, get involved. You are the future you've been waiting for. You know, you are the solution you've been waiting for. So you need to, everybody in this, hearing my voice, need to step up to the plate and contribute, you know, contribute something, the time, resources, whatever, you know, because you are the change you've been waiting for. That's what I have to say.
Thank you. Tony, summarize for me.
Yes. We need to hold these officials accountable for the job that you're doing. We need to have our Jamaican citizens learn to love each other again. We need to have a sense of community, a sense of responsibility, so we can get our country back to where it should be. That's what I guess.
All right, Jennifer.
Yes. Once again, I'm in total agreement with everybody. I thank you for your time and for your energy on the subject, and for the, the sense of humor. You know, have to keep it light sometimes because it can get very heavy. So, I just want to pick up everybody. Don't have any more dead relatives come pick you up from the airport. And we all have had our experience with what I term as a licky mentality, but we have to, nip it in the bud. I have a relative who thinks that I'm responsible for their children. I have absolutely nothing to do with them, but we just have to just cut it off. Listen, don't call me for that. I have my own responsibilities here, and take care of yourself, whatever that means. But I think that, we need to just stop, where we can, stop the bleeding. And I look forward to having another brainstorming session with everybody on the next call.
Thank you. Lisa?
You're welcome.
Yes. I just wanted to bring up one point. One of our viewers in the chat, Petro E, states, I think training people in the community as first aid responders is the strongest idea. And that's also a very good idea. And I think what we're doing here, our visions of what we want to see for Jamaica, having it in our minds and seeing us that now we're putting it together on paper. Okay, now we can actually see the vision of the changes and stuff that we would like to bring to Jamaica. And then now it's time, we can start putting this together and putting it in our hands, or print it off and putting it into Parliament's hands, so we can start seeing these changes. So I think we're on a good track. And I thank everyone, for being on the panel. Big ups to everyone. And, thanks, Randy, for having me here, and the rest of us. And, let's keep this going. Let's keep this dialogue going. Communication is the key. And I just want to let everyone know that, just keep growing. Let's keep growing this. And folks out there, write your letters in. 11 letters. Come on, we can do better than that. Send in your letters of what you'd like to see the changes in Jamaica. and what you can contribute to the changes in Jamaica. And let's make this grow.
Send it to Jesus, but you could email that at jamaicagoodlife1@gmail.com.
I can.
Right?
All right.
Jesus
All
is
right.
waiting for your letter if that will motivate you. Okay, guys? Nadine?
Yes.
Loud
Everything
and
that
proud,
was said
Nadine.
and
Don't be
done
shy,
tonight.
Nadine. Nadine, don't be shy. Loud.
No. I am never shy.
Go ahead.
But everything that was said and done tonight, I am in such agreement with all the warrior queens and the warrior kings tonight. But I have a solution. When you go to Jamaica, go down there like a beggar like me. When you come off of the plane, they're sorry for me. Hello, the man will be moved. Lady, me not charge you no money. He said, thank you, sir. Hello, my God, Jamaica, and I'm dodging clothes. I put on my water boot, look at the door. And I play now. So here it is. Come here, didn't do the plan. So what we have to understand is, because we know what's going on, now that we know, we have to take steps way ahead of them because we need to be ahead of them. And this is where I stay around the children and stay on the farm because I realize I have so much more in common with the children because I have so much to teach them. And I have so much in common with the farm because they speak to the trees and everybody talking back to me. But at the end of the day, I am learning that I have to accept even things that I do not agree with because I know it's not going to be overnight change. I know that for a fact. I know, but once I get to the children, the babies, I know that there's going to be when I say a dynamic change is coming to Jamaica because I am already talking to the children. I was in Jamaica for 4 months and I was able to teach a lot of young girls underneath my grandmother apple tree, a lot of things that I know and live and my beliefs, of a young girl growing up and how we should carry ourselves, how we should live. So believe me, everything that was said and done tonight, I am in agreement. I love you guys. And thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Pottinger, that my voice can be heard. Because my mom always said, you believe them, please don't try to put it on nobody. But at the end of the day, someone will listen. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, freedom of speech, people. I'm thinking of making some of these shows. Here's the challenge I'm having. But anyway, before I say that, who's next? Pauline, summarize for me.
Yeah, like you said, unfortunately, with YouTube and the topics are not quite popular. But the point is, you keep going because it will make an impact. Whether it's tomorrow or years to come, it will. And I just want to say, keep up the good work. Everyone contributes some very important points, and I'm glad that we have this platform so that we can do that.
Are you using a Bluetooth headset? Are you using a Bluetooth headset?
I'm using. Can you hear me?
It's just some feedback. We'll talk offline, but keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So no, what Miss Lady was saying in regarding, you have to get wise. Like when I'm going home, no one know when I'm coming or when I'm leaving, and you don't go and basically spend your rent money and act as if America, is you just pick up money on the street, and then when you come back, you can't pay your bills. So it's just wisdom, and outwising the con artists when it comes to certain things. But overall, awesome show. Good job, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So everyone got there. I don't want to sign off until you feel that you're empty. You released everything you want to release tonight. Does everyone feel relieved?
I understand.
Wait, one more thing. Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
More
It was on my
inside.
mind.
Go ahead. Squeeze it out.
No, it's regarding. Okay, you cut it out. In regards to we talk about mental health, but also addiction. Like drug addiction, or sometimes alcohol addiction. Sometimes people are like, "Well, we're Jamaican. Yeah, no, we smoke and drink. It's normal." No, it's not. So like having programs available for people that have serious problems. So I think that could be one of the solution as well. Just a side note.
Yeah. That we have to add this. There's this thing. What you call it? Rehabilitation. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Centers.
Yes, absolutely.
Got it. I'll add that. Anybody want to squeeze out anything more before you leave? So you're all good? You feel good? Everybody's good?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
Good to go.
All right.
Good.
Good. It's a nice flush out of the system. So we're gonna flush this one down. And this has been a great show tonight. Randy has no sense. Tony, thanks for coming out. Pick up your family. This, may I tell you, is legendary. People don't know we yet. With the liquor train, let's keep on chugging, and it's pure fire. This is Jamaica Good Life, and it is just so much fire. And tonight was every episode, it gets higher and higher. I hope the Almighty give me the strength to continue to do this. And thank you, Pauline, for the support. Everybody who support this network. Sometimes it's tough for me. Trust me, I'm telling you, in a easy. But I'm going to find a way to position myself where I can continue this, because I am my ancestor. And if you think about what our ancestors did for us, it is in our best interest to sacrifice, participate, and those who are listening to this, don't be afraid. You might hear Randy say certain things about religion and what you know and what keeps you going, or what you think keeps you going. Without your African ancestor, you are nothing. Okay? First and foremost, the people who fought for your freedom, fought for your identity, you have to come and be a part of a circle of people. We might have our differences and our strong opinions, but the next generation, the young youth, them are depending on us. So happens that this panel, we are mentally liberated. And everything you know or believe must be challenged for you to grow. We're going to accept you for whatever you are. But prepare for change. Because what is inevitable in this life is change for better balance. Because change and balance is the truth. So the change and balance we have to apply is one change where you have to come in the room, you have to participate in this. So Jamaica can change for the better. And it's going to take minds like yours that's on the sidelines listening to Randy. Not because me know certain things where you don't know or you don't agree with. At the end of the day, without the Maroons, without Nani, without Bookman and Marcus Garvey, you would not be in the position you're in today. But most time, we give credit to the things that we should not give credit to. So I want you guys to join us. I don't have to be your friend, nor believe in what you believe in. But there's a degradation in our society, and you have the solution. You're a solutionary. So it's important that you join us to provide the solutions for the next generation. If I say we need to add an African history to the system, That is my opinion. You have your opinion. Email it at jamaicagoodlife1@gmail.com. The sideline listeners, don't judge Randy. The network is not about Randy and my convictions. It's about this country. And since I have the technology to facilitate this conversation, be a part of it. I want to send a shout out to Steve. I big you up. And I will continue this in whatever capacity I can. We try to make this show as frequent as we can. Go to jamaicagoodlife.com, buy the t-shirt, donate, support this movement. It costs people. And for those who have support, thank you. Do it. Not become to go to the same church as you or believe what you believe in. Do it because it's progressive. Right? I'm going to say that without any back talking. Support something like this that is more progressive than anything you've ever seen out there. Go to Jamaica Good Life. Put the pot on your wall. Contact me. Step up. It is time to step up. It's 2022. No more cowards. No more afraid of bullets from Jamaican police or whatever. We're not afraid of nobody. We're God people. I am my ancestor. So that means that because me have grey hair upon my face, me now get younger. So before me dead, I gotta make sure so me make a dent on this earth. And so far, the people who have joined me to make this dent with Jamaica Good Life, I thank you now. Because we did it and we're doing it. Someone like John Crow, respect for stand beside me every phone call, every day. You saw me I say, give thanks to the educator, Jennifer, and give thanks to the, we call him the reasoner, the practical, straightforward talker, Tony. Give thanks to Nadine with the fire. We burn out things where we don't want to say. Nadine, we say it. And Pauline for her objective review. And Lisa, we call her the precision. She just precise. Boom. Short talking, Lisa. She don't have talk long. So thank all of you on the panel. This is Jamaica Good Life. We're making history here for the next generation. Until next time, I'm out. Randy, later.